Victorian businesses have welcomed the state government's financial support package, but they're calling on the federal government to introduce emergency JobKeeper packages to guide businesses out of rolling lockdowns. Joining us live now is Felicia Mariani, CEO of the Victorian Tourism Industry Council. Felicia, firstly, what's your response to the support package announced by the Andrews government yesterday?
Yeah, the support package obviously was incredibly welcomed. I mean, our industry here in Victoria is absolutely shattered, as you can imagine. This is our fourth round of lockdowns that we've had to go through. I know that, some are saying obviously it does fall short of anywhere near what the losses are going to be as a result of the lockdown over the 7 days. And let's not forget also, Gabriella, the impact of this goes beyond the 7-day lockdown for our industry. All of our operators are telling us that, in fact, the ramifications of this are seen for 30 days beyond the lockdown period, and it takes that long for them to recover. So, there are projections that losses will easily, for many of our operators, be in excess of $50,000 for the period that we're talking about. So it's a challenging time, but at least the government has made an effort, has put forward a plan to try and support businesses through what will be a really difficult 7 days and beyond.
Was this lockdown the right way to go?
Yeah, look, there's lots of, assertions and ideas and insights about this one. I'm not a medical expert, so I can't say whether it was right or wrong. What was done has been done to protect the community. Obviously, by the time that we went into the lockdown, I think we had about 140, 150 exposure sites across the state. Over the last couple of days, that's actually ballooned out to over 170 exposure sites. So getting on top of this and getting control of this is really critical. And of course, the only way to do that was to obviously make people stay put for a period of time to give them the chance to do that.
Yeah, and cases, they just keep growing. We're now up to 45 with this cluster.
Yeah.
There's every chance that this lockdown is going to be extended. Will you be needing more support?
If this lockdown is extended, I honestly don't know what we're going to do. We are talking to our members on a daily basis, and that's exactly what many of them are saying. They might be able to hang on for those 7 days, but if it goes out longer than that, these people will be shattered. And I guess that's why, as you said at the beginning, we're actually calling for a national solution here. We want to see our state and federal governments working together again, as they did in the first phase of this pandemic. Australia was basically the exemplars globally on how to manage this pandemic in the early days, because our governments at all levels were working together so effectively. Sadly, over time, that seems to have dissipated, and we have all sorts of different rules, different regulations around how people will close borders, when they will snap shut, what designates a hotspot. All of these things are causing us enormous havoc in our industry, but also they're shaking the confidence of consumers right to the core. And we're seeing the impact in visitors not wanting to travel interstate because everyone is so paranoid about getting caught on the wrong side of a border closure. So we do need to see our state and federal governments working together to try and create, some more simplistic and cohesive approach to all of this, and to really help build the confidence of consumers and indeed business owners to operate again.
What did you make of the Treasurer's response? There's no JobKeeper this time round, and they're not going to be pitching in with this support package.
Yeah, that's one of the most critical issues for us. Up to this point, when these lockdowns have happened, we have had the safety net of a JobKeeper to protect the businesses and indeed to protect the employees of those businesses. This time round, there is no safety net. We have no JobKeeper. There's no longer, rent protections, rent relief. All of that is gone. It ended as of the end of March. So at the moment right now, we've got employees out there with no hope of any sort of income for at least the next 7 days. We've got businesses who are, absolutely at the end of their tether because they're struggling with their own businesses. But these people are also very, very concerned about the people that work for them. Our industry is made up of amazing people who have incredible passion and commitment, and we create the magic and the memories of this industry. So the business owners are incredibly committed to the people that work for them. So this is really hard for them to do to stand down people. Gabriella, we also did a quick survey that we put out on Friday afternoon just to try to gauge some of the impacts from this latest lockdown. And by Saturday midday, we'd already had 300 responses. And what was quite telling, we asked the question about the numbers of staff people were standing down, and 84% of the respondents at that point had told us that they were standing down between 5 and 25 staff with no JobKeeper, no type of revenue support to actually help them get through this next period. So it is incredibly difficult. And that's why we are saying that until we can see some mass vaccinations occurring across the country, we are going to be at risk like this. And we do need to see some emergency JobKeeper-esque fund that is in place, so states who have to go into lockdown to protect their citizens can actually call on that at times when it is needed to provide income support and protection to the people that work in our industry.